All right, good morning, everybody. It's meteorologist Colleen Peterson alongside Sam Gabrielli. You can see behind us, radar is active. It's been a very busy morning. We had a tornado warning at 3:30 this morning, but we haven't really seen any other tornado warning since then in our area. So it's really been turning into a flooding event.
Right, and as the morning evolved, Colleen, like you mentioned, the tornadoes early. It was more towards, the 4 a.m. hour, even as early as 3:45 last night, early this morning. And now it's just been kind of a steady rain, and that's been the main kind of threat, I guess, is the heavy rain.
Yeah, it has been producing. You've been on top of traffic this morning and weather because so many flooding reports have popped up here across town. So we're gonna go ahead and walk you through that radar, talk about some of the reports out there, but here's what it's looking at right now. All the green boxes on the map, that's flash flood warnings. So flood warnings are in effect, but you can see where we're seeing the rain right now is mainly off to the south. Campbellsville seeing a thunderstorm with some heavy downpours right now. So Greensburg, Campbellsville, it does not look like it's rotating. Neither over in east of the metro area. Shelbyville, Frankfort, just seeing some light showers. Actually, a bigger batch of rain just left, and it's actually producing a tornado possibly over, where are my bearings?
Southern Ohio?
Southern Ohio.
Yep, just to the east, Cincy.
So these storms have the capability of producing tornadoes, but right now, at the moment, we are not seeing anything that is rotating out there. Let's go ahead and walk through the storm reports that we are seeing.
There's been a lot of them. Upwards of over 20 flooding reports, I believe. And they all came in over the Parkway system, kind of down by, basically in like a southwest and northeast orient between like Litchfield, E-Town, Bardstown, Frankfort, Lexington. That looked to be where the heaviest rain was earlier today. The airport in Louisville actually recorded 2.4 inches of rain so far, is what we've seen. So it's been a doozy of a storm system, to say the least.
Yeah.
When it comes to those reports. But yeah, flooding was obviously the main issue today. There were reports, if you're tuning in from Grayson County, we saw some flooding reports of, roadways being completely washed out. We saw some reports too of some trees being down in a couple of roads. I know Jesse Skagg Road was one of the main big ones where there was a lot of flooding that was underway. Looks like we're trying to
pull up the flood reports, but this is from thunderstorm wind damage over in Litchfield. A tree came down. That is the current report here over in Litchfield. Grayson County really saw the wind damage. A tree down on Highway 259 South near McClure Cemetery Road. We actually have our meteorologist John Humphreys, our storm chaser. He is on our way to that scene because that was also under a tornado warning this morning. So I'm curious if it was from a possible tornado or if it was from a severe thunderstorm. But yeah, wind damage and also a lot of flooding reports here across town.
Right, and a lot of them happening, in that Litchfield area, Grayson County. Of course, that's where it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Doppler radar this morning, Colleen, was estimating between like 2 to 5 inches of rain.
Yeah, which is
ridiculous.
A lot of rain throughout the morning hours. So getting you a little bit of a wider view of the kind of watches we are under. We are under a tornado watch until noon. This is south of Jefferson County. So this is really the spot that could see those spin-up tornadoes from now until noon.
Yeah, so this is an area where if we see kind of some peaks of sunshine here and there, it could give enough energy for the atmosphere to make a couple of storms that possibly do turn tornadic. Now, we're making this live video just before 9:30, so we still have another 2.5 hours until that watch does expire at noon Eastern Standard Time. But I really think that, don't have your guard down, is what we're trying to tell you.
Yeah.
There's still a chance for a couple of severe storms.
If you can stay home, I would, because we are seeing flooding across town, numerous reports of flooding, some even up to a car door at the southern portion of Jefferson County. So this flood watch remains in effect till noon as well, and that might even be extended because it takes a little while for the rain to start to, fizzle out. Storm drains are overwhelmed, so that's what causes ponding after the fact of seeing flash flooding. So walking you through that forecast model, this is at 9 o'clock. That will continue through noon. It's going to be consistent heavy downpours here from now until noon. Now, it looks like the window of severe weather will dwindle at this point, but this latest model run has slowed down the storms. So that can mean one of two things. It can help limit the opportunity for something to form, or, if we happen to have some peaks of sunshine out ahead of the storm over in Campbellsville, in between those clouds, that can provide some extra energy for some of these storms. So I'm not safe to say it ends at noon. I would say when that line leaves, that's when the severe weather window will end. So that tornado watch might be extended. Right. Really just depends what our environment is looking like.
Right, and remember those red and orange and yellows you see? Yes, sometimes they most of the time they do denote hail, heavy rain, strong wind, a tornado, but they mainly are showing you on radar where the heaviest rain will be. So if you see those orange and reds line up and stay over the same spots over and over, and it goes very slow, that's where flooding is going to be a huge risk. So that's why we're mainly going to be concerned about flooding as well if these storms continue to train over the same areas over and over throughout the day today. Yeah, we've already kind of seen that. So
multiple flooding reports. We have reporters going out to see where it's been hit the hardest. But overall, the damage in the larger picture wasn't as bad. We only had one tree down reported in our area. So thankfully, let's hope it stays quiet. We don't want any more tornado warnings or damage reports. But bottom line, we are under a tornado risk from now till, I would say, 2 p.m. at this point. Flash flooding is also it's occurring right now. It's underway. So that's going to be our main concern. Temperatures are feeling muggy out there. We actually might have the opportunities to get to the upper 60s at some points, which again provides the fuel to some of those thunderstorms. Those are warm air rises, and when it rises, it helps build. So the more air particles rise, the bigger the storms it can build, I guess. That's the way of describing it. So we don't want any sunshine. We want it to be cloudy.
Right.
We want it to be cloudy because if we get some sunshine, some peaks in those clouds, that can provide fuel.
Exactly.
We don't need that.
And just think about this too. About a week ago, whatever it was, week and a half, we were talking
about
like
blizzard
winter
conditions.
Weather. It was minus 10,
and now we're under tornado warnings. Yeah. Like what?
We get it all here from Mother Nature.
We really do. We really do. So let's go ahead and take you back to the radar. We'll stay on for a few more minutes. I'm actually going to leave it on the radar, and I'm going to pull up the stream to see if anybody has any questions. Because we are live right now, we're here to answer your questions. Or if you have any photos, if you have any reports of anything out there, please, or re-comment, because I just pulled up the streams and I'm not able to see your comments. So if you commented, please re-comment so we can help answer those questions that you have.
Mm-hmm. I can take a look here too and see.
Yeah, sometimes the chat, it only pops up the comments right when you tune in. So I have the live chat up. Feel free to comment any questions. Again, we are not seeing anything rotating out there. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and actually, I'm going to do it this way. Okay, well, the wrong thing is in here. But overall, this is the current view of the radar. Looking to see if anybody is commenting something. Doesn't look like we have any questions, but if something might be wrong with my phone, if not, make sure to message me or Sam Gabrielli on Facebook, and we'll make sure to answer all of your questions for you. But right now, it looks like we are just seeing that rain that's really coming down from Slick Rock down to Summershade, Casey Creek, seeing some of those thunderstorms, but thankfully nothing looks to be rotating. But we have a lot more on the way. We have rain branching all the way down to the Central Plains.
Yeah, to northern Louisiana, extreme southern Arkansas, which is insane. It's a really big storm system, Colleen. It's making its way east slowly. We'll see the cold front move through here tomorrow, through the midday hours or so. There it is. There's the broad picture.
Got it pulled up for you guys. But yeah, the broad picture, the rain will continue to track all the way from Memphis, and they have severe thunderstorm warnings and flash flooding all along it. So we'll continue to get some of this back stuff, but maybe the stuff that we're seeing right now will just drift farther off to the southeast. So from now until 1 p.m., that's going to be the worst weather for us. But thankfully, we haven't seen too bad of weather. We did see one tornado warning earlier, but only a tree down reported from that system.
Right, so just use caution when traveling. There's going to be a lot of flooded roadways across the area, especially south of Louisville, anywhere from Litchfield, E-Town, Bardstown towards Frankfort. So that's just something to use common sense. If you see a flooded roadway, don't drive through it. Yeah. Never, ever, ever drive through a flooded roadway.
I mean, the roads are looking really bad out there. So just make sure to take it slow. And if there's any breaking weather news, we will, of course, cut into WHAS 11 and making sure you guys stay safe. So just stay on top of the weather, stay dry, and stay up to date.